Author Henry Miller once said, "Writing is its own reward." But many people who have struggled to put pen to paper and write anything of any consequence would argue that writing is the most difficult thing they've ever attempted and is far from rewarding. Experts agree that writing can be intimidating, but the younger you learn how to write, the less intimidating it will be in later years.
I think we know that writing is a very important skill, and it is certainly something that is in decline in today's education. We find the writing skills of high school and college graduates is significantly lower than it was 30, 40 years ago. And it's one of those things that if you develop that aptitude when you're young, then it comes more naturally and you have more confidence and competence when you're older. So teaching writing to children is something which I feel is very important. A lot of teachers and parents agree, and yet the schools seem to be not doing that or knowing how to do it effectively.
Equipping teachers and teaching parents with methods and materials which will aid them in training their students to become confident and competent communicators and thinkers is key.
One of the problems that a lot of kids have is I don't know what to write. I can't really think of anything. And what I have observed over my years of teaching is that you can't get something out of a brain that isn't in there to begin with. You can't have ideas to express if you don't have ideas in there. Louis L'Amour, the famous classic Western novelist, he said, "A writer's brain is like a magician's hat. You can't get something out of it unless you put something into it first." So we as teachers of children in general and teachers of writing in particular want to be very attentive to what's going into the mind, what are we storing in terms of ideas and vocabulary and syntax and all the important things that make skillful, beautiful writing possible.
In order to succeed in every area of life, students must hone the skills needed to communicate confidently and effectively.
So, what we'd like to do today is consider some optional scenarios.
Andrew Pudawa is the founder of the Institute for Excellence in Writing, an organization dedicated to training, mentoring, and providing a model for teachers in a clear, sequential, and effective method of teaching writing that reinforces history, science, literature, and other content areas.
We have a system of structural models and stylistic techniques that allow teachers to help students organize ideas in a logical, coherent way, as well as stylistic techniques that allow them to express those ideas with artistry and variety. It's a technical approach based on imitation, and when students work through our 9 units and work through the syllabus of stylistic techniques, they gain those basic skills, much like playing a musical instrument. You would do scales, etudes, play certain pieces to gain certain skills. They gain those skills in composition that then allow for a much greater level of creativity and much greater academic success as well.
Teachers and homeschool parent teachers say the IEW program has gotten great results with their students.
I'm so impressed with the IEW program. The results that we've had in my own home have been phenomenal. My youngest is excited as she learns to read her phonics and put stickers in her primary arts of language phonics farm. And my middle and my oldest both have no anxiety about writing whatsoever. They have a set of skills that's kind of become a part of who they are, and they can apply that to any writing that they're asked to do.
There are many things which make our program unique and effective, but probably the most significant is that our methodology begins with dictated content. So rather than saying to a child, here, think of something and learn to write, we actually give them the content, and through our 9 units gradually wean them from dictated content to that blank page. So rather than saying, think of something so you can learn to write, we have discovered what works much better is to say, here, learn to write using these ideas, using this content, and then you'll learn to think better.
As a former teacher, I was always baffled with how I could communicate the art of writing to my students. But the IEW program is purposeful to equip parents and teachers with the structure and style that makes it easy, step by step, as I teach my students to write well.
Classroom teachers, home educators, should choose IEW, in short, because it works. We have a system that is proven. I have a stack of testimonials as tall as I am of children who grew up doing IEW and really any grade level, 3rd, 4th, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, whatever, and then went off to high school or college and clearly stand out above their peers. Teachers saying, where did you learn to do this? Hey everybody, this is a great paper, you should do it like this. And they don't know exactly why they're standing out among their peers because they just grew up doing it. But what we look at is the comparison and we say, aha, we're teaching something that really works in the real world.
Through the process of learning to write well, students learn how to think clearly and to express themselves eloquently and persuasively. For more information or to order the program, visit IEW.com.